I love creamy tomato basil soup, and I love it because it's beautiful. It's red and green. I love the flavors. I love the creaminess of it, but the problem is most of the time it's made with lots of butter, lots of dairy, so lots of heavy cream, and I eat it and then I just don't feel very good after I eat it. So I figured out this recipe that is amazing. It's vegan, so no dairy products, no cream, no anything like that. There's no hydrogenated oil in there, no soy products. All the things that usually make creamy tomato basil soup, you know, make me not feel good. Got rid of all that, and I just made it from the ground up, and it turns out really, really amazing, and I think you guys are gonna love it. And for a festive Christmas dish, it's different enough that it's gonna make it's going to please the palate, so it's beautiful. It's red and green, which is like festive colors. Also, it's something that you probably don't have all the time. I know that, you know, whenever I go to an Italian restaurant, like that's the yummy thing to get is the creamy tomato basil soup. So hopefully this will be a really great dinner entree for you and for like a holiday meal. And it's really easy. It hardly takes up any time at all. So the secret to this is roasting, okay? I've tried this without roasting the vegetables first, and it turns out okay, but once you roast it, it just gives it this like dreamy, roasty flavor. I don't know how to explain it besides that. So this is super simple. It's great like in the summer when your tomato plants are producing like crazy, but it's also great as a winter dish. It's nice and warm. And hearty and yummy, and if you pair this up with a salad, like with the yummy salad dressing, it's perfect. And in the recipe book for today, I've got a whole bunch of yummy salads and salad dressings that you could pair up with soup, like hearty festive soups to make a really great holiday meal. And it's really pretty, and the colors are vibrant. So all you do is you take your tomatoes, slice them, take your onion, slice it, and for me, I just like everything easy. I'm a grad student and a single mom, and I work, and I just don't have time to spend hours in the kitchen all the time. So everything I make is like really, really simple, just a couple of simple steps, and I let my food do the work for me. And so instead of me doing all the work, I try to find recipes that kind of cook themselves. Then I don't have to do all the work. So like a half of an onion, a bunch of tomatoes. I'm just showing you how to do this so you can see, so you can see the roasting process and see how easy it is. You take your garlic and you just like squeeze all the extra skin off the edge. Like so, and then just leave it in its little, just leave it like that. Plop it in there. It's really easy. And then you just take a little bit of oil. I'm going to use coconut oil today. Now remember, a lot of people cook with olive oil, and I know that the health food channels and stuff, they say to put olive oil on everything, but olive oil is very, very heat sensitive. It oxidizes really easy when it gets heated up. So you want to use olive oil for things like salad dressings and things that you don't heat up. You don't want to cook with it. So if you're cooking, you need to use a heat stable oil that's not going to oxidize when you put heat on it. And so that's all you do. You put the garlic, the onion, the tomato in there, drizzle a tiny bit of oil over the top, and then you're just going to sprinkle a little bit of salt over the top of that, like so. Give it a little toss to make sure everything's got oil on it. And then you stick it in the oven, 425, for, I don't know, like half hour, 45 minutes, just until it starts getting kind of browned on the top. Okay, do you guys smell that? It smells so good. I have some pre-roasted tomatoes and pre-roasted onion and garlic. Should be tasty. So all you're gonna do once you roast your vegetables, just throw them in there. See how they're just kind of like browned on top a little bit, roasted. You're gonna throw all that in the blender, and if you have a Vitamix, it can, obviously because it boils stuff in the thing, it can handle high temperatures, and the roasty flavor just makes it really dreamy. And then I'm gonna take the roasted garlic and the roasted onion, Throw that in there as well. Now if you want to roast them ahead of time and refrigerate them, you can always just blend it up and then heat it up on the stove later. But since they're nice and hot, then I don't have to heat it on the stove later. Then I've got some, instead of cream, like what do you use instead of the 1 cup of heavy cream that you usually use in? So these are soaked cashews. For the people that haven't been here before, make sure when you're using your nuts that A, they're raw. You got to get raw nuts, and B, make sure you soak them and rinse them before you use them. That gets rid of all the phytic acid off of them and all the enzyme inhibitors that sometimes give people an upset stomach with nuts. So put in some raw pre-soaked cashews, and also when you soak cashews it makes them so they're extra creamy instead of powdery. And we're gonna just put in a little tiny pinch of salt. We'll taste it later to see how it tastes. And some fresh ground pepper. Sorry about the noise. Serving bowl, please. Thank you. All right, and again, depending on your tomatoes and your onions and whatever components you put in here, I'm going to give you the basic recipe, but you're going to just have to adjust it according to your taste with the extra salt and pepper. That's good. Okay, so see how creamy that goes? And that's with just with the cashews. Now, I'm going to take some basil and put basil in. Now, you don't want to put basil in at the very beginning because it will turn the soup green. So you just want to, I'm going to show you how to, it's called chiffonade. So here's a cool way to cut basil. And this is for like mint leaves or any kind of leafy thing that you want to make look pretty. And with basil, make sure that you wash it and chop it like right before you use it because basil turns brown really fast. And with basil and any other kind of leafy greens, try to get organic. If there's any way you can get organic, that's going to be the best. Your leafy greens, like your lettuces and your herbs and that kind of stuff, those have a really high pesticide residue if you don't get them organic because it's just, it's the leaf and there's no protection. So you go like that, you stack them and you roll them like a little tortilla like so. And then you just slice them really thin. And then you've just got like cool basil confetti like that. Okay. So we're going to save that for a garnish. And I'm just going to put some basil in here and just blend it real quick. You don't want to blend it enough so it turns your soup green. You just want to blend it long enough so it mixes it in a bit. Again, can you see how easy this is? This is like a really quick meal. I mean, if I just would be quiet and stop talking so much, it'd be really, really fast. So keep that in mind. This is a super quick meal. And it's a meal that kind of does the cooking for itself. You just stick it in the oven and let it bake and then throw it in the blender and you're done. And a lot of eating healthy is about advanced preparation. So like if you don't think about this a day ahead, then or several hours ahead, you're not going to have time to soak the cashews. You're not going to have time to throw things in to roast. One of the things I teach on my health and wellness plan is just planning ahead, like making a menu ahead of time, making it the week before, and then that really helps you to like see what you need to do in advance. It helps you to shop more. It helps you to shop inexpensively. It helps you to plan. It helps you to not go straight to the junk food because you're starving with nothing to eat. And just something as easy as making a weekly menu and knowing what you're going to eat every day and when you have to prepare. Like for instance, hands-on time for this is, like 10 or 15 minutes, and the rest is just kind of waiting for it to cook. So you can plan 10 or 15 minutes into your day to cook something healthy, but if you don't think about it and then you have to go to the store and then you don't have time to soak your cashews and then you don't have an hour to wait for it to roast, then it turns into a big ordeal where you've got to go get a pizza or something. So if you just plan ahead, that's a big component of eating healthy, is just planning ahead and kind of scheduling your time, because most of the recipes, they'll kind of make themselves if you just schedule enough time. Okay. All right, don't want the soup to turn too green. There we go. So that was pretty easy, right? Okay, I'll let you guys taste that. And again, you're going to flavor this according to your taste. So salt, maybe a little, if you like something spicy, you can put a little cayenne pepper or red pepper flakes in there. If you like it a little sweeter, you can put a dash of honey in there, more pepper, and this is what it's gonna look like. Now I'm gonna, let's see, what time is it? Oh, I'm gonna show you how to, I just came up with this last night. This was genius, and it's really fast. So the other thing that makes tomato basil soup really good, it's like the Parmesan cheese you get to like dump on top, right? How are you supposed to do that without dairy? Well, I'm gonna show you. You will love me for this. All it takes is cashews. Now these are just dry cashews. If you want dry nuts for any recipe, you soak them and then you can put them either in just a warm oven or in a food dehydrator if you have it, and dry them back out again. And then you can store them and then have your dry nuts that have had all the enzyme inhibitors or phytic acid dissolved off of it. So you've got like, I don't know, cup and a half of that. I've got a little bit of nutritional yeast, which imparts a lovely cheesy flavor to things. Just gonna put a little sprinkle of that. And again, in the recipe book, I have exact measurements for those of you that like exact measurements. We're gonna put like a couple pinches of salt in. And just one little clove of garlic. Then gonna make some more noise. Hang on a second. Powdered Parmesan cheese, obviously, not the grated, but all right, give this baby a taste. Now, some of you will like the cheesy, like more cheesy flavor, so you can add more. Yum. So you can add more salt or more nutritional yeast, whatever you want to use, and this makes a really, really pretty Parmesan cheese. Isn't that great? Oh. I knew you'd love me for that one. Okay. So then, of course, whenever you're doing any kind of festive meal, it's all about presentation, right? So let's see if I can do this without splashing. There we go. Now we can make this, when I serve this to you guys, we'll make it a little bit, like add a little bit of water to make it less thick, but you can make it whatever thickness you like. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. Who needs an Italian restaurant when you got this? And a little bit of basil on top. And you can even put like a little bit of chopped tomatoes on top if you want to make it extra pretty, huh? Okay, there you go. You can applaud now. There you go. Yay.